just a few days to go now until Australia are crowned the world test. I can't even do it. I can't even be cocky. It's not good.
That was that was quite an introduction, Charbel.
Particularly.
I'll try that. Hello to all the listeners. Hello to all the viewers. Hello on YouTube. Hello on Spotify, wherever you're listening. That was Charbel's cheeky attempt to.
I couldn't do it. I
I,
couldn't
I
do
I
it.
should say attempt to jinx Australia because it never works. What do you say? We've seen that in
Yeah.
IPL. We've seen that in Hyderabad. You said you're going to win it, and Hyderabad ended up last. So this could work in my favor. This could work in India's
Good.
favor.
It
Um,
could. I haven't given my like. I was just, it was an attempt at being cocky, but I just can't do it. It's just not my nature.
it's also because I think we are at a stage where the matches I would say is perfectly balanced. Um, Even though India are missing key players such as Rishabh Pant, Bumrah, even KL
Mm.
Rahul, who has been very good in the red ball format. Um, I think it's perfectly balanced because of India's still quite a strong batting lineup and also the bowling reserves that they have got on tour with Jadeja in form. Shami, we all know what he can do in those conditions. Even Jaidev Unadkat coming off red hot domestic season. Lord
Yeah.
Thakur as well, Lord Shardul as well.
My question
So
to
so
you
I would
is, how do you
say
fit them all in, though? That's the question around the Indian
and and
attack.
and that was going to be our next point of discussion
Mm.
is what would be the starting playing combination for both teams and going with India. I would obviously say you start with Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma at the top,
Yes.
Pujara at 3, Virat Kohli at number 4, and Rahane at number 5. I think
So again, the
I would
wicket
like to see.
keeper. Who would you go with the
Yep.
wicket keeper?
I
That's another
I
big
would like to
question.
see KS Bharat, um, because those conditions are difficult for a wicket keeper, and KS Bharat has proven himself to be a good wicket keeper. Um, so I would go with KS Bharat at 6, Jadeja at 7, um, Shardul Thakur at 8, Shami at 9, Jaidev Unadkat at 10, and Siraj at 11. So
So no
so that
Ashwin.
well, I think I wouldn't go with him. I know I'm a big fan of him, as you know, and as our listeners know, I'm a big massive fan of Ashwin. But I think we have to somehow play it safe and go with the four seamers. And I wouldn't think twice if they go with 3 seamers and 2 spinners. I wouldn't think twice. But this is just what I would feel comfortable with.
Mm.
Um, and just you know given that combination, I would have complete confidence at least India can make it a close contest.
Fair enough. Even maybe considering the dry conditions that have been around in London in recent weeks and the mostly dry conditions in the test match, there could be a temptation to play Ashwin.
Yep.
And
Yep.
there's a lot of left-handers in the Australian lineup:
Yep.
Warner, Khawaja, Head. So, Alex Carey. So look, I think India could go that way, and he's probably the best bowler out of those guys there that are in contention. But yeah, I think it ultimately depends on what the pitch is like. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I think
And that's
Australia,
where that's where I think Jaidev Unadkat comes into play as well, that
the left
that
arm angle.
creating
Yeah, that's
yeah the left arm
important.
angle, but also for Jadeja creating that rough outside Steve Smith's and Manas's off stump. That could be a massive factor as well
You
as the
reckon with the ball
pitch
turning
gets
away,
drier.
or it could be Ashwin that could be a decent option there if you have Unadkat. Ashwin with the off spin spinning into the right
Yeah,
hander.
absolutely. But
Mm.
if Ashwin doesn't play, then obviously Jadeja comes into
Yeah,
the
no, I
picture,
know what you mean.
and
Yeah,
even with the ball going away, Jadeja had gotten Manas a few times when he played in India, and
that's right. Yeah,
o-
but in terms
uh,
of in,
different pitches, but yeah.
unless Unadkat runs in the center of the pitch when he's bowling, I don't know if Jadeja hitting the foot
Yep.
marks to the right hand is going to be a big factor because it's going to be outside off turning away,
Yep.
so
Yep.
they can
Yep.
either leave or whatever they want to do with it. Yeah, it'd be fascinating to see India's combinations. I think there's been more questions around India's combinations than Australia's, if I'm being honest. I think Australia look relatively settled, and it comes to I think having Cameron Green as a seam bowling all rounder. So when you have him as your fourth seamer, you can play Nathan Lyon, and so I think you go with Warner and Kawaja. Hopefully Warner does well, but yeah, we'll see how that
Yep.
goes. Marnus at three, Smith, Head, Green, Carey, Cummins, Stark, Lyon, and Boland. That'd
Yep.
be the combination that I would go with,
That's
and I think the team
that's
would
I
go with
think
it.
I think I think Cummins has announced that.
He's announced it, has he? Okay.
Yeah, I think he announced that a few minutes ago.
Oh, right. Okay.
As yeah, and Boland
Haven't
is
haven't
playing.
checked anything in the last half an hour or so. So okay,
Boland
cool.
is playing instead of Neezer. So
Yeah. Okay.
how much do you think Australia will miss Hazelwood though?
The thing is, he's been out for quite some time. He hasn't played. I heard today he hasn't played two consecutive Test matches since India won the Border Gavaskar Trophy back in 2021 when they were here.
Yeah,
The SCG and the Gabba Test matches were the last two Test matches that Hazelwood played
that's
in
that's scarred
succession.
him for a while.
Yeah, I mean, look, he hasn't had any luck with injuries, so
Yeah,
I think Scott Boland is a very, very good replacement. So I think we'll be okay there. I think he's perfect for those England conditions, man. Getting that seam movement, hitting the top of off stump all day long.
yeah.
I think
Man,
if
I love Test cricket.
me too, it's so good that we're back talking about this. And I think if Boland bowls like he did in that Test match in India, where he didn't take a wicket, but he bowled really well.
Yep,
If he
yep,
bowls in those areas in England, I think he's going to be in the wickets in this Test match.
yep. I think he'll get the natural movement of the pitch as well, and
Yeah,
as the pitch gets drier, it might even
yeah,
help the seamers with the natural variation and
possibly,
batters not knowing what the pitch will do. So
possibly.
it'll be an exciting test match for sure. One for you, how much do you think this test match what okay, here's the real question. For each team, what are some of the reasons for losing?
Yeah, so the first one, I think, for India, of course, I'm going to start with India here because I don't want to talk about Australia losing, but I'll talk about India. I mean, Australia had a similar issue when we toured India earlier in the year. Big Bash finished. 10 days later, the first test started. And you looked at the team and we looked underprepared, undercooked. I think India have got a similar concern around a lot of their players have just finished an IPL just over a week ago
Yep.
and coming into a World Test Championship final in England conditions. That's acclimatizing it to a different format. I know fans say it's okay, they can do it, sure, but it's completely different pressure, completely different
Yep.
format,
Yep.
completely different bowling attack, Duke's ball. That's a big concern for India. And also, for another thing for India is if they get their bowling combination wrong. So whether Shardul Thakur, if he's picked, whether he can sort of improve on his recent form,
Yep.
and whether the attack can work together because no Bumrah there is a massive loss. And of course,
Huge loss.
how they deal
Humongous.
with Rishabh Pant not to be there as well. That's another big loss. So there's a few big losses there for India and the white ball to red ball transition that I think is going to be very important. But
Yep.
yeah, that's my India take. I don't know if you had any for India before we move on to Australia.
I think it'll be an interesting one if the I strongly look, I am a bit pessimist when it comes to India playing in England.
Mm.
And there's not a strong record in aside from the 2021 Test series where we won two in a row, but it's one of the reasons why India might fail. If India would fail, is that wicket keeper and Ashwin. Like you said, if we get that bowling combination wrong, you might at the end of you at the end of the test match you might think, oh,
Mm.
oh man, you could have played Ashwin and got some spin as Nathan Lyon would get the spin. But
Mm.
it's interesting because hindsight's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
we just have to wait and see what ultimately happens, because Shardul isn't exactly consistent. And that's why that's why there's that sort of, will he or won't he sort of play, that sort of question around his place. And is it safer to go with Ashwin, who does bat as well? Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
he's a very decent batter. He's got 500s in test matches. So
of course.
um but he will give that another spinning option. Or do you
So
need a seam bowling option? So if you absolutely need a seam bowling option, then you might go with Shardul Thakur, who will give that batting cover as well. But then he doesn't offer that consistency. So
that's
that's
such
where
a
I think
good point.
India might sort of find difficult to find answers, and then that that can be one of the reasons why India might not win. What do you think?
That's why India might not play Shardul Thakur as part of a three seam attack. So
Yeah.
say you pick three seamers and you pick him as your third seamer, it might put a bit of
Oh,
pressure on the other two.
I think if you're picking three seamers, they need to be Shami, Siraj, and Unadkat. I
Yeah,
think Jaydev Unadkat gives that left arm variation, and
yeah.
I think that's really key in
Maybe
England.
offers a little bit more control as well.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
yeah,
Thakur hasn't got the ability. We all know that he can come up with the big wickets, but you're right. It's about the control that you can offer as the third seam
yeah.
option.
And
If you
and,
play,
and look, I think
if you play
from a from
four seamers, then by all means, yeah, he can
yeah,
come
but
in.
I think from Unatkat's point of view as well, he has played one test match back in like 13 years ago, and he's gone back to test, to first class cricket, domestic cricket. He's performed absolutely mind-blowingly well in Ranji Trophy and in domestic competitions, and he has done his time there, and now he's come back with that experience. With he's not a senior in the team, but he has loads of experience under his belt with red ball. How to pick wickets on different types of pitches. And
Yeah,
that's what he'll provide to the combination.
yeah, for sure. So a few key questions there for India. I think a big thing as well is how their top five perform. Kohli,
Yep.
Pujara, Rahane. Of course, Rohit has done well in England in the past. And then to my previous point, how does Shubman Gill, who had a great IPL, can he adjust quickly enough?
I
Onto,
think
onto Australia, if you wanted to
sorry,
make a
I'll
last point.
just quickly point out the key, as you said, will be runs on the board. And
Yeah, for sure.
I personally feel that Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli are going to have a big one.
I hope you're wrong, but yeah, could happen. Could happen. It's
I
probably a
mean,
reason why Australia would lose.
we are seeing this unhinged version of Virat Kohli
Yeah,
um
yeah,
in
definitely.
the sort of the last tail end of his career, dare I say tail end. But you know we saw that in the IPL as well.
Mm.
He had a brilliant IPL. And I just feel like it's coming.
Yeah, I just get the feeling as well Australia are going to really test his patience just in and around off stump. He's going to want to feel bad on ball early. I just feel it. And I don't think Australia will bowl too straight to him, particularly early on. Lots of deliveries just in and around off stump and test Virat Kohli's ego a little bit and say how much are you willing to leave. So that's going to be a key battle. I mean, Cummins has had his number in the past. I think he averages just 16 against Cummins. So I look forward to that battle. That's really, really important for India. That Virat Kohli wins that battle. They're going to win this game. To
Yeah,
Australia,
absolutely.
any concerns about Australia? Yeah, probably. I worry that they're going to rely too much on Smith and Marnus. I think we need to avoid a situation where that happens. So a good start from the openers be crucial. I mean, Warner's had his problems in England. Khawaja's been amazing in the last year and a half, but in the past, he hasn't had it easy in England either. Yeah, I think he averages less than 20
Yep.
in England. But of course, he's well placed now to improve on that. He's in great form. And I look at Travis Head, Cameron Green coming off the IPL, Alex Carey. Those three I think going to be very important. Carey after the bad India tour, and what Travis Head can do in terms of taking the game away from opposition. So don't rely too much on Smith and Marnus. There has to be a lot more contributions from different places, which are going to be absolutely vital. And of course, runs from Marnus and Smith be a great help.
Look, I think I can already sort of visualize Shami bowling coming in from round the wicket, and Warner edging to second slip on sort of need the back foot, need the front foot kind of a shot.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of
Or
like how he got
Siraj,
out
one of them.
to Stuart Broad a lot of times in 2019. So that was a dark time, but yeah,
Oh
it's going
man.
to be interesting because if Manas and Smith, if India get Manas and Smith quickly, I think it's going to be a really good test match for India. And
Mm,
again, how India performs in the second innings is going to be really crucial because a lot of
yes.
times in the last 6 7 years that I remember, they've got their first innings lead, but again, second innings did not quite go as planned, and then
How true.
India went to lose the test match. I still remember there's so many test matches that I
Even
still see the
South Africa last
highlights.
year. South
Yeah,
Africa
exactly. I
last year.
see the highlights and I'm like, how the hell did we lose that one?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like, yeah, Adelaide 2014, perfect example. South Africa last year, perfect, another perfect example, like you said.
So
So,
true. Yeah.
it's going to be crucial the second
Staying in it for the
innings.
long haul.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
So Shubman Gill might struggle maybe as he's been an impact player in the IPL now. He's got a field
Yep.
for how many
Yeah.
overs?
Even the last World Test Championship final against New Zealand, like that
Yeah.
was again, even though New Zealand got the first innings lead, it wasn't a big lead. It was like 20, 30 runs, and India
Yeah.
just bundled out in the second
Yes.
innings.
That's such a good point. Second innings, yeah, staying in the game at that period where it gets really tight. I think that's a great point. Any other reasons why Australia might lose?
No, I think if India get the better of Nathan Lyon, I think that'll be key.
Mm,
In
I
India in the
think
past have
that's a good
been
point.
culprits of letting opposition spinners in the game. Um, and if India get the better of Nathan Lyon here, I think that'll be really key. I'm not going to state the obvious that they need to see out the new ball and need to see out the fast ballers, but if India could get the better of Nathan Lyon, the opposition key spinner, I think Australia won't necessarily they don't have another spinner. They don't
Mm.
have a
So it'll be
backup unless it's
more
Travis Head.
it'll be more
Um,
bowling for the seam bowlers if that's the case.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yep.
think as well a lot rests on Mitchell Stark. He doesn't have a great record against India. The average is over 30 in England as well. So I'm got a
Yep.
close eye on Mitch to see how he
Yep. And
performs. Yeah.
you also have to remember this is Cam Green's first England tour, so he hasn't
Yeah.
bowled with the Duke's ball in England in
Mm,
those conditions in prime Test match
true.
environment. So whether he'll be able to control the
Mm.
swing and the movement is going to be key as well. So that if India could really not there's no better way of saying this, not lose wickets to Nathan Lyon and Cam Green, they could really get some runs off the other three seamers, at least try to sort of score
Just
and
increase their
balance them
workload.
out.
You mean increase their
Exactly.
workload? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it'd be part of the planning. So that's why the Indian top five crucial because
Yep.
it's been lean pickings at times for a few of the guys. But I look at Rohit at the top. I know he had a bad IPL. His performances in England, outstanding for an overseas
Yep.
opener. It's a very, very difficult place to open the batting. And
We
he's going to be
need
crucial. Yeah.
we need Rohit from 2021 and we need
Yeah.
Virat Kohli from 2018. That's
Yeah.
what we need.
If you get that, you'll win. In my
Yep.
opinion, if you get
Yep.
that, you'll win. But to
And
get that,
Shubman Gill from Gabba 21. So, yep.
oh man, we've got to get Pushara
And
out as well. There's Pushara there.
yeah, there's some outrageous. Sorry, we just got diverted, but
Yeah,
there's some outrageous. As we come to an end of this recording, I just wanted to point out because I've read some outrageous comments online. Someone suggested that Shubman Gill might struggle with extra pace. I'm like, we've seen what he can do with extra pace at Gabba.
mm.
In 21, he just hammered
Interesting take. So,
25 of 1 over.
so
Um,
what was the reason for saying he'll struggle against pace?
I have absolutely no idea. I just read a quote on
Mm.
Twitter.
Okay,
Um, I think it
interesting.
was by Ian Chappell or someone.
Ah, Chapel. Oh wow.
But and that's what that's what they were saying, and
I
I
wonder
was
what his reasoning
surprised.
is, whether it's a technical thing
Um,
or might look into that.
Exactly, because Shubman Gill has all the shots in
Oh
his
yeah,
kitty, and it's going to be really exciting to watch him bat against Cummins and Stark.
can't wait, can't wait.
Awesome.
The wait is finally over, and the weather looks quite good for the most of the test match. I think there's a little bit of
Yep.
patchy rain forecast for the last couple of days, but I think we
Yep.
should get a result. And I cannot wait to see this. I'm just so glad, get Test cricket back, and I think it should be a fantastic game. May the best team win. Good luck to all
May the
India
best team
fans.
win.
Good luck to all India
Remember,
fans.
if Australia lose, you've already jinxed them. So just remember that.
Listen, there's the big jinx with India and the ICC tournaments when it comes to finals. So
I'm
look,
pulling all the stops here.
I
I'm not a
might,
biggest fan,
I
but
might.
I will say Rohit Sharma hasn't lost a final. I'll say that.
He's lost the semi-final in last year's T20 World Cup. When it comes to knockout finals, look, India. I don't need to do the jinxing. India take care of it
Yeah.
themselves, and I hope this one is another example of it.
Maybe this breaks the jinx. Let's see.
Come on, we need to add another little mace in the cabinet. The cabinet's getting very full. We might have to get another one. So that's a good problem to have. Come on, go Australia. Let's go.
Come on, India. It might not sound that exciting, but yeah.
There's a bit of fear and worry in that one.
Yep. Yep.
That should
Well,
be
look,
good.
I'm a 90s Indian kid, so I know the disappointment. I've lived through the disappointment. So yeah.
Yes, of course, and I've lived through the good times. So I get to relive it a little bit in the next few days, but I know it'll be difficult.
Unless Ricky Ponting doesn't come out with and just smacks everyone around the park, I'm fine.
Should be good. Thanks, Nash. Thanks to all the viewers and the
Thanks, Charbel.
listeners. Look forward to the banter over the next few days. And yes, may the best team win, and may there be some wonderful cricket. Thanks, everyone.